Hello, everybody, and welcome to a conversation with Evanston Made member artist Janis Post. Hello, Janis.
Hi, Lisa. How are you?
I'm wonderful. The fun thing about this interview that we're doing on Zoom, we both live on Florence Avenue at opposite ends of the block. And I have a feeling that like whatever loud truck goes by you will then come by me.
Yeah, there'll be about a 2-second delay between your house and my house. Yeah.
Love that you're in this neighborhood. I'm so glad you're here. So first and foremost, let's talk about what you have in the show right now exhibiting.
Sure. So I actually have it
Oh, nice.
right behind me here. So
Thank you.
I'm prepared. So this is the piece. It's acrylic. I think it's totally acrylic. I frequently work in mixed media. Sometimes I start out with a watercolor and then paint over that. Sometimes I start out with acrylic and then paint oil and cold wax over that. But this one, as I recall, is totally acrylic.
Nice.
So,
Thank you for having that on hand to show us.
you're welcome. You're
Excellent.
welcome.
And what are you, since that piece is done and it's exhibiting, what are you working on right now? What's on your canvas?
Well, so I've got my work table right behind me. I typically work on a number of pieces at the same time because I work in layers, and so I have to wait for one layer to dry before I can continue on that. So I've currently got 3 pieces on my work table. I've got another piece that's on the floor that I just sort of ran out of inspiration on. So my living room floor is sort of my holding area for things that are not currently being worked on, but
And your
I still want to
studio's
see them.
in your house, you paint
It is.
inside your home. Okay.
Yep. So I'm actually standing in my kitchen looking towards my living room, and I'm in a little hallway, which is my studio area.
Nice. Excellent. And
Yeah.
you've got tons of natural light up there.
It is beautiful. The light here is just gorgeous, which is one of the things I particularly love about living and working here.
Yeah, that's so pretty. Okay, so tell me a little bit about what is different about your practice since Shelter In. We just want a glimpse of like, have you been more inspired? Are your paintings darker? What's different?
So I would say that I don't really plan my paintings, so I never know what's going to come out. I mean, literally from day to day. And since I work in layers, I can start in a layer that like what I painted this morning was a very dark monochromatic canvas. And I was like, that's interesting. Usually that's not how I start. But that is what it is. It will not end up looking like that. So it's really, I can't really say that there's been a specific theme that has arisen out of this period of time. I did finish a series of 9 paintings during this time that is unusual for me. I don't usually work in a series like that, but somebody had requested a large work and I don't have enough space to do a large canvas. So I was like, oh, I can do 9 small paintings that will make one large work. So so that was fun. So that was a very different way of working for me, but I really enjoyed it.
How nice to start the Shelter In with a commission.
Yeah, it was very nice to start the Shelter In with a commission. That was fantastic.
Wow. And do you find yourself more or less productive? Are you busier per se? Are you in the studio more?
I would say I'm in the studio more just because I'm here in my space all the time.
All the time.
So I do have a day job, but since I am working from home during this period of time, you know, I can actually pick up a paintbrush for a few minutes here and there during the day, which is very unusual for me. So usually, you know, if I wasn't sheltering at home, usually my painting time is relegated to the weekends. But now I can actually, and I really dislike painting at night because for me, natural light is, I need natural light to feel like I'm working. So it just gives me a lot more opportunity to work since I'm sheltering in place. So.
And how are you doing without the humans? Like, are you on Zoom all day long because you're having to work? Are you doing the Zoom happy hours? Like, or do you love the break from people?
A little bit of all of the above. I've been doing a lot on Zoom. So typically before COVID-19, I had a lot of classes that I take. I also dance. So I would take dance classes almost every single night. Those now have been relegated to online or just aren't happening. And dance, I have to say, is one of those things that does not translate well to doing as a Zoom activity.
No.
So I'm cutting back on my extracurricular activities on Zoom, but yes, during the day at work, lots of Zoom. So, and I have to say, as an introvert, I sort of revel in the not having to be around people all the time. So
Yeah, there seems to be a theme in these interviews. Artists are happy at the respite from the obligatory social things, and they're thrilled at the opportunity to just make for extended periods of time. It's been an interesting throughway on the conversations. Without spending too much time on it, what is your background as an artist? Are you self-trained? Have you been painting since you were 2? When did you start self-identifying as an artist? All those things.
I probably didn't start self-identifying as an artist until maybe the last 4 or 5 years. I was one of those kids that painted and drew as a child. But I never had any specific training in it. My first actual training per se wasn't as an artist, but I was a scenic artist in college. And what I realized from that, and that's translated to my work now, I love working large and gestural and just spattering and literally throwing paint and stuff like that. Don't really have the opportunity to do that in my current space. I'm sure my landlord would not be happy if there were paint spatters all over the walls when I moved out. So I used to live in a place where I had outdoor space, and so I could do that outdoor. I would take canvases out to the backyard and just go wild. Haven't had that opportunity since living here. So my work has changed somewhat because of that, but
Interesting.
yeah.
Okay.
So I started out as a scenic artist, and then I started taking classes in art when I was 50-ish. And
50-ish. Okay.
Yeah.
So you came back to it later in life, and now you're productive and you've got commissions and you're self-identifying as an artist. Full circle.
Yes.
I like it.
Full circle.
Awesome.
Me too.
And who are your influences, whether it's from back in the day or current? Who do you look to for inspiration?
For inspiration, I really look to the person who really helped me grow and start back into the art realm and grow as an artist and whatever. And even though her work and my work are very different, it's she's a watercolor artist named Helen Klebsiddle. She's in Madison. She's also she was a college professor and an art professor, and she has does a lot of workshops and whatnot, and she's just this wonderful person, and she really inspired me to start doing this more seriously, and I still use her for coaching, but I consider her a friend, a mentor, and just a wonderful person.
Oh, that's so great. And someone who's involved in your life and your current work. Oh, I love that.
Yep. Yeah, me too.
Janis, I totally appreciate you being open to this. I know that this has been so strange, but we have, 95 exhibiting artists in the group show, and I'm just so grateful for every one of you for jumping in and participating this way.
Thank you. It's my pleasure. It was, I really appreciate you putting this all together, Lisa. Wonderful job.
Thank you.